make myself get up and go, but I wanted to share with you all a really quick message that I think is such this post was addressed to parents, saying parents be mindful of the messages you teach your children, but I would also say that this post isn't just exclusive to parents. I think that any of us that are in a position where we're teaching or imparting any sort of ideas or insights or anything to any other human being, so pretty much all of us, could benefit from this. And I'll tell you a little encounter I had. I was on a plane last night. I was the plane. There's probably a lot of planes last night, so I wasn't on the plane. I was on a plane last night. Lisa, Cindy, good to see you on here. And there was a lady sitting next to me and her husband, and they had a child that was probably no older than 2, little young kid. And we started to hit turbulence, and so the plane starts doing this, right? Bouncing around, and I hear the dad. So then my heart, my heart starts to skip a couple beats and goes up here, and as it does sometimes in turbulence. And then I hear the dad say to the son, he says, "Wee, isn't this fun?" And with a big smile on his face. And so then what the son does is he looks at his dad and says, "Wee," and with a big smile on his face as the plane's going like this. Now, across the aisle, I look back over my shoulder and I see this woman who's sitting there in the traditional turbulence posture, which is the death grip on the handles. Her eyes are closed, her face is like this, and you can just tell in her mind she must be praying something like, "Dear God, please get me out of here. Why the fucking did I fly? I hate this trip. I hate flying. Next time I'm driving," something like that, right? The narrative any of us who have ever been freaked out by turbulence have in our minds. And so I just sat there for a moment and observed her and observed the way this parent was teaching their child. And I thought, God, what a beautiful lesson of life. See, right now there's the same experiences going on. Everybody in the plane is experiencing turbulence. But what was different is that time the parent was teaching their child something empowering about turbulence. They were teaching their child that they don't have to fear it, that it can be something to be celebrated, that the sensation doesn't have to be scary. It can be uplifting. It can be fun. And the lady behind me, I don't know what her life story is, but if I were to assume, I can assume that maybe she had a parent that was scared at turbulence. Maybe she had somebody who didn't teach her that it wasn't something you have to be afraid of. And she just learned the fear on her own. So the big point is remember that we have an opportunity at any given time to teach our children, to teach each other about how to perceive things. And if you're in a position of influence, a position of power, a position of parenting, where you're going to be the type of person who is literally imprinting the psychology of someone else, I really encourage you to look within your heart and dig deep and find a message of inspiration and a message of empowerment to them. See, what that parent was teaching that child was to not be afraid, but to instead allow those things that might scare others to be something to be embraced. And my gosh, wouldn't that be a wonderful metaphor of life? How much could we all benefit if we learn to embrace the sensation that we call fear as something to really be embraced, and instead of saying, "Oh fuck, get me out of here," we just simply said, "Wee," and embraced it head on. So the moral of the story, less "oh fucks, get me out of here," and a lot more "wees." Because when we do this, it can radically change not only our lives, but it will change the lives of the kids afterwards. Oh, and just as a side note, what was really funny, which was my initial reaction of my own little stuff, as soon as I sat there and observed the parent, it reminded me, wait a minute, I have a choice in how I experience this. And you know what? Why not I just have a lot of fun? Now, I'm not saying I went all out and did the full wee like the little kid did, but there's a little kid inside of me going, wee, and enjoying the rest of the ride. So I hope this message helps you all. Sending lots of love to you. I wish you an amazing rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, Casey, wee. Yeah, if this was helpful, everybody just type in wee. I think we could all use a good wee right now. So either you type it in here on Facebook or you just say it out loud, or parents, if you have kids that are around of the wee age, go and do something wee worthy with them. I don't think I've ever said we so many times in my life. I'll see you all later. I got to go get to the gym before I lose my motivation. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.